President Vladimir Putin is stressing Russia's support of Serbia on a visit to Belgrade for its first military parade in decades. The Russian leader's trip comes at a time when Serbia finds itself caught in the middle between Russia and the European Union. CCTV's Anya Ardayeva reports from Moscow.
Russian President Vladimir Putin received a very warm welcome in Belgrade. He attended a military parade, Serbia's first in 30 years, to mark the Soviet Union's liberation of Yugoslavia in World War II. More than 3,000 Serbian soldiers marched in the parade, which featured tanks, boats and airplanes.
The
70th anniversary of the liberation of Belgrade is a very important event. We are not ashamed of our guest. We want to have good relations with the Russian Federation.
Prior to Vladimir Putin's visit, Serbia's Prime Minister Aleksandar Vučić said his country intends to follow the European course, adding that Serbian and Russian peoples are very close and that Serbia wants to attract Russian investment. The Prime Minister also said that the South Stream project, which involves construction of a Russian gas pipeline, is good for Serbia. The pipeline would deliver Russian gas to Europe, bypassing Ukraine. Russia is also important for Serbia as the threat of its United Nations veto is the only thing standing in the way of its former Kosovo province joining the world body, says Valery Alexeyev, head of Moscow-based Union of the Orthodox Nations.
On the one hand, Serbia, as the key country in the Balkans, perfectly understands that without support of Russia, it will lose a lot of things, which it tries to preserve. For example, if Russia recognizes Kosovo, this process will go down. About 30 countries don't recognize Kosovo, and Russia is among them.
Belgrade refused to sign up for EU sanctions against Russia, saying that it could harm the country's stagnating economy. Most of its energy sector is controlled by Gazprom, Russia's state energy monopoly. Instead, Serbia is hoping to capitalize on Russia's counterban on Western goods by increasing its food exports to Russia. However, officials in Serbia say they still intend to become part of the European Union one day, raising concerns in Moscow. Serbia officially applied for EU membership in 2009.
It is obvious that Albania and Serbia will receive associate membership. Montenegro is almost a member of the EU. As a matter of fact, only 2 republics are not full members of the EU. That is why it is a question of the near future, unfortunately.
In the past, Vladimir Putin warned that Serbia should never become part of NATO. During his last visit to Belgrade in 2011, Putin said he has nothing against Serbia joining the European Union. However, officials in the Kremlin said that when and if that happens, Serbia's free trade agreement with Russia will become invalid. Anya Ardayeva, CCTV, Moscow.